BlackRock has formally requested a meeting with the Federal Reserve to propose integrating XRP into the US federal banking system. You won't believe this. When I first saw this, I thought, wow, that's really cool. However, it changed course when I went to confirm it. I'll demonstrate for you what occurs and whether or not this information is accurate. However, is everyone posting as like it's real? So let's talk about that. Naturally, Paul Atkins, in his first speech as SEC chairman, discussed the significance of cryptocurrencies for Americans. He will also be the one to guide us into this new era of digitization. Have Karen O'Leary discuss the North American economy's digitization as well. You must see that. I learned more about the Bank of Russia, CBDCs, Velo and XRP near the end of this article. Many more, men. Please hit like and subscribe if you find any value in this. Come on. How would you categorize XRP? Without a doubt, I believe that XRP is a network token, correct? In my opinion, if you pay attention to how we discuss the differences between a network token and a company-backed token, you will see that in the end. I believe the three questions we examined were, is the network open? This, in my opinion, is unquestionably true for XRP. Do the network effects lead to token wars? Again, I believe that to be true. After that, is the system's economics built into it? I also believe that to be unquestionably true. The expansion of that ecosystem is stimulated by demand for XRP. Thus, in my opinion, it quite obviously fits the criteria of a network token. You mean a store of value, a network token, or a utility token. On it, you may tokenize anything. For the majority of banks and organizations, XRP truly checks all the boxes, whereas Bitcoin just checks one. That is the value storage. And that's fantastic for those who want to make an investment. Keep it close at hand for a while. Finding the greatest technology that banks and financial organizations want to utilize is what will be embraced globally. So if you're truly looking to boost what you have, that's what you want to do. And on any given day, on any Earth 1 or Earth 10, that, my friend, will perform better than Bitcoin. XRP will outperform Bitcoin across all realities if this is a multiverse. Okay, let's check this out. According to Kevin O'Leary, the new trend in business is to focus on digitization, the North American economy, and the continent. Yes, Kevin, you will be joining. That's a consensus in Toronto from May 14th to May 16th. Give me a brief overview of the topic you plan to discuss. I am aware that after your keynote, you will be giving a talk titled Crypto's Next Chapter. Yes, I am asked a lot about the North American economy's digitization. That's what I'm bringing to the table. There has been a significant amount of change to the way business is conducted, including the encroachment of cryptocurrency. The main question, though, is why the S&P 500 margins are greater than they were before the pandemic. Why have margins increased from 15 to 17.5% in private enterprises in North America, Canada, and the United States? What took place? When you expected the pandemic to have destroyed a large number of these businesses, what happened to the economy? I will thus go over a number of case studies of businesses, some of which are in my own portfolio and others that are not. These aren't scholarly investigations. These are actual businesses who, over the course of this incredible 4-year span, managed to transition from Nike to a tiny, 500 employee corporation, and we've moved to a new location. Additionally, the global direct consumer market is worth several trillions of dollars. A variety of tactics have been developed, and several digital payment systems will play a significant role in this. Therefore, I want my keynote to include all of that. Since we're at such an exciting period for investing in company, I've been working particularly hard on this one. And that, in my opinion, is a smart strategy for the conference, and I'm excited about it. This one has always been my favorite. This bunch of people is really innovative. It's always a fantastic occasion. After the C word, how did businesses manage to survive? Oh, yes, we did print about $7 trillion, 0 cents. Isn't that how everyone got by? In 2021, obtaining a loan was not difficult for businesses. You simply applied and you were granted it. It goes without saying that you have to spend that money to support your firm, but that's how many of these companies survived. I don't think many of them would have survived without that money. In terms of effectiveness, cost savings, transparency, and risk reduction, I anticipate significant advantages from this market innovation. This is one of Mr. Paul Atkins' earlier speeches. This is one of the first that has caught my attention, though I believe he has done a few. After you listen to what he has to say here, let me know what you think. In terms of effectiveness, cost savings, transparency, and risk reduction, I anticipate significant advantages from this market. innovation. Clear regulations should be in place for market participants using this technology. Unfortunately, for the past few years, innovation has been suppressed because of the regulatory and market ambiguity that the SEC has regrettably encouraged. Therefore, I'm excited to interact with market players and collaborate with congressional colleagues in President Trump's administration to create a framework for cryptocurrency assets that makes sense for its intended use. Therefore, the topic of discussion at today's roundtable is the difficulties SEC registrants encounter when trying to securely hold cryptocurrency assets in accordance with federal securities rules for its clients. For instance, are modifications required to the Exchange Act, Advisors Act, or Investment Company Act's custody regulations in order to count for blockchain technology and cryptocurrency assets? Do market participants find the so-called regime of special purpose broker-dealers feasible, or is a new framework for crypto asset broker-dealers required? The market appears to be telling us that the current structure is in dire need of improvement. Therefore, you can all help us with that by providing guidance, particularly on the panels. He sounds like he understands what he's talking about up here, Paul. He seems really upbeat and willing to work with us to make this work. Therefore, I'm very interested to see where he takes this. And will he truly be remembered as the one important regulator who made cryptocurrency viable out of many, like Carolyn Pham at the CFTC in America? I sincerely hope so. All right, let's get on to the drama, shall we? Because without some drama, it wouldn't be a Friday. And it's right here. This is the post that is widely shared today. I'll read it to you now. White Rock formally asked for a meeting today. I won't read it, this letter should be read. All right, White Rock then, what must I say? Do you know? Hold on. Is that their logo before I do this? I know I should have looked at this first, but I was just curious if someone had messed up something so basic. Wait, while I check. If there is, it will be on their website there. I see the W. I'm left wondering. All right, let me return to this. Here it is, thus. It reads, Federal Reserve System, Board of Governors, 20th Street and Constitution Avenue. Integration of the XRP ledger into the Federal Reserve banking system is being proposed by RE on behalf of White Rocks. I would like to invite the Board of Governors and members to a meeting to talk about incorporating XRP ledger technology into the federal banking system. This offers a chance to increase productivity and security in US financial services, along with a variety of other things. White Rock Gnome Levi. Let's check if this individual has a LinkedIn account. One Rock. Wait, what? You would expect that someone with the same name from White Rock would just show up here, but wait, another business. Guys, there are a lot of dubious stuff in this letter. There are a number of dubious things that I am aware of. And this is the issue. The same thing is being stolen from everyone else. I therefore wanted to learn more. Since I was looking for legitimate news sources or reporting on this, I was thinking, hey, do you have any? I wanted to confront AI about it. There are no credible news outlets covering it. When I say no real news sources, I mean Cointelegraph, no CoinMarketCap, or any very large, more reputable places. Oh, yes, yes, credible reports, this person said after that. All right, so who are the reliable sources? They are two. It's a tabloid, right? Austin Hilton too. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring this up because VET really began targeting some of the individuals who were pushing this. It states that the White Rock's proposal to discuss integrating the XRP ledger with the Fed should no longer be posted. This looks really awful. Don't be naive if you start to think critically and start to doubt posts like this. Therefore, I don't believe this to be true. And until we can verify that this is genuine, I will ensure that my team stays away from it. Therefore, exercise extreme caution when it comes to the people you follow and the material they post online. You will frequently discover that it is simply incorrect. It simply isn't true. Okay, so Craig DeWitt is here because according to the former product manager for Ripple, nothing has changed in 2025 since 2021. Utilizing the real asset that generates demand is crucial for utility problems